Hello and welcome, luminous beings of light. Thank you for joining me here at the SoulFire Alchemist. I'm your host, Beth SoulFire. So welcome to another show, another video. I wanted to come to you today to talk to you a little bit about this full moon that we got coming up in Virgo at 16 degrees and 40 minutes of Virgo. If you're not sure where that is, you can go to astro.com and pull yourself a natal chart. You can sign up for a free account. I don't even think you have to have a free account, so just go to astro.com, fill out your information, and you'll be able to see your natal chart. If you're not able to read the wheel, there's a little, I don't have one near me, but there's a little section at the bottom corner that gives you the actual degree point of where each planet is for you. Now, it's also important to take note of which house it's in for you, because this is where this moon is going to be affecting you the most. However, the general things that I'm talking about are going to be affecting everybody, and so that's what I'm here to talk about today, and just the general energies of this coming week and what's going to be going on. Now, the other thing that we have really interesting that's happening on the same day of this full moon is that we have Saturn entering into Pisces. Now, when we have a planet making an ingress, which is known as like an ingress means when it first enters a sign. So it goes from that anaretic, that last degree of the last zodiac sign it was in. So right now it's in Capricorn. Talked to you about that in the last one. Or no, that's Pluto. Right now it's in Aquarius. And it has been at that anaretic degree of 29 degrees of Aquarius for a while. And he's getting ready to enter into Pisces. And as he makes his ingress in, it's a big deal. For any planet, it's a huge deal. But for Saturn specifically. Now, I'll go more into that in just a moment. But for right now, I want to talk to you about the full moon that's happening on Tuesday. Now, you can check your time zone, exactly what time that this occurs for you. Make sure that you know exactly, because whichever time zone that you're in is, like for me, for example, let's say it's an Eastern Standard Time. You're looking at 7:40 a.m. that this is going to occur. So a full moon is not really, I'll put it this way. If you're a gardener, if you've ever been a gardener, I am encouraging you, if you want to learn astrology, to plant something and follow the moon and plant by the signs. Do what they call moon gardening. That will help you understand astrology far more than any book studies probably that you can learn. I don't know much. So beginning at 5:51 a.m. on Tuesday morning, if you're in Eastern Time, we're going to have the moon in Virgo make a beautiful trine over to Uranus and Taurus. Now, Uranus and Taurus, you'd have to see where this is occurring, what houses that these are occurring for you to actually get a feel for the energy. But in generally speaking, Virgo energy is my moon energy, right? So it rules my moon. So I'm very much familiar with this energy. I always have loved the new moon energy more so than I have like the full moon energy when it comes to Virgo. But you just don't ever know. You need to learn how you feel when the moon changes. And I've got something real special in store for you guys that I can't wait to share at the end of the video. So keep watching. But with that beautiful trine, okay, so this is going to give you the oomph and the energy to look at where you want to just make changes in your immediate environment. What's not healthy for me? What's not serving me well? How can I get this crap out of my life that's just clogging and cluttering? So it might be in your outward environment, or it could certainly be exterior. Now, full moons in general shine a light on everything that's going on. So there's big revelations that happen in a full moon. Big things come out into the open. Like, so you might hear big news coming out Tuesday or the following, 2 to 3 days before and after a full moon. We're also entering into eclipse season, which also takes things out and ushers new things in. So I want you to understand that this is good energy. So you've got to make use of this trine energy in some way. And how would you do that? Well, Taurus represents things about your where you live, right? your personal wealth, your things that you love and that you find beautiful. It's ruled by Venus. So when you have Uranus there, it's shock, upheaval, and surprise. So it may be that you're surprising yourself about something you just decided that you're going to change and you're just stone about it. But maybe you need help, you don't know where to go, what to do, what the next steps are. But however, I feel in this time you might be getting a lot of clarity, okay? So that could also be true, and with full moons we often do. So I love doing shamanic fire ceremonies during a full moon. We do them during the new moon too, but full moons are excellent for the things that you want to give up, the things that are being revealed to you that are no good, that you need to just let go of, and that are not serving you well. And being that the moon is in Virgo, this moon specifically rules your health, your pets, your every single day work and habits, like your routines, like you get up in the morning and certain things you do, brushing your teeth before bed, your skincare routine. It doesn't matter, right? If it's a routine, it falls under Virgo. So that's what this full moon is going to be about. It's going to be revealing a lot of things to you about things either in your environment or what you're putting into your body or into your mind that's not serving you well. And so hopefully you can use this energy to that end. Now, how do you do this? Well, the best thing you can do is to release those things. So it's a good time in the new moon. Also, you're moving into sort of a surrendering as you enter into the new moon, right? But there's a difference in the energy. In a new moon, in a full moon, it's more like, all right, I'm going to let go of these things. Right? And when we have a fire ceremony, that's what you're doing, is you're just taking a stick or whatever it is that we're using, and even if you're just by yourself, you can write something down on a piece of paper that you just feel like you need to get rid of. And if you want to use water, you can instead of fire. You can just flush it down the toilet if it's safe. Don't, that's my Virgo moon. Don't do it if it ain't safe. Don't clog your toilet up. Even though we might want to put all those things that don't serve us very well right down the toilet, make sure before you do that. With the moon in Virgo making the trine over to, and a trine is a really good angle, okay? So a trine just means things are being easy for you. It means the universe is kind of giving you something on a silver platter. When I say sextile, you'll understand that that's something you got to work for. So let's say that you want a nice, delicious pizza. Well, with a trine, the universe might deliver you a pizza, literally. But if it's a sextile, that means it's going, no, here's the makings for the dough, and the makings for, here's all the toppings. You do it. And it puts the ingredients on the counter, but you're the one that's got to make the pizza. Or whatever you like. Okay? So, in a trine, though, this is a gift. So really use this energy. If you can manage to get up early, you're going to be finding yourself like in flow with this full moon, in Virgo. And I feel that, when we have a full moon, you got to remember, the moon and the sun are our two luminaries in our solar system, right? So they're the main ones that shine the light in the darkness. The moon only shines light in the darkness when it's full. So this is a really good time to reveal those things. And it's a good time to talk about those things because, there's a lot of shock, upheaval, and surprise. So it could be a really good surprise, right? Because it's trine energy. Now then, I'll do it again. I'll smack it again. All right, now, you guys. All right, now, at the same time, you're going to be feeling this beautiful flowing energy with Virgo. Here's the thing, and I know this very well, you guys, very well. I work with these energies big time in my chart. All right, so after the trine, we're going to be moving into the full moon. Now, Saturn is going to be enter Pisces not long after that. So the pinnacle of the actual full moon, if you're on Eastern time, is 7:40 a.m. And Saturn will enter Pisces at 8:35 a.m. So you're feeling these things happen all at one time. Now, Saturn's a slow mover, right? He takes a while to go through a sign. But the problem is, it's not really a problem. The biggest issue is like I said, when a planet makes an ingress, you usually feel it. So find out where Pisces is in your chart and see what house, right? Because the house tells you what area of your life. that it's affecting. But generally speaking, Saturn entering into Pisces is something I could do a whole video on just to itself. If you would like that, I can do that. Just leave me a comment. But Saturn in Pisces, you've heard me speak before that Saturn is like the disciplinarian. He's like the authoritarian, and parents, authority figures, rules, challenges, blocks. All those things fall under Saturn. He's considered what we call a malefic. But I don't always look at him that way. And the reason why is because I have had I just lost my father. Okay? He just passed away. And at 29 degrees of Aquarius, but I've also got Pluto right now. We all have Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and Saturn rules Cap, which is why I bring it up, and it's the ancient ruler of Aquarius. So if you think that these things are not tied together, you must understand that they are throughout the fabric of space-time, even on this Earth plane, because astrologers, before they understood that there were big, farther outer planets like Uranus and Neptune and so on and so forth, they just considered the inner planets. Well, that's why we still call them the personal planets, is that they are the inner planets, and that goes all the way out to Saturn. Anything outside of that is not a personal planet, because they move so slowly. They're considered generational planets. However, that does not mean that they don't affect you in very deep ways and change you and transform you just like the rest of them. Okay, that's what this is for. The whole reason you're following astrology, I hope, is so that you can understand how it's affecting your life, and you can understand better what the universe or God or whatever you want, your higher self, I don't care what term you use, is requiring or asking of you, and to understand what challenges might be coming up and how you can deal with them, because astrology allows you to be prepared, right? As does shamanism. That's why I like putting the two together, and you're going to see that a lot more coming from me. I've been trying to put that stuff out, but I'm actually finally at a place where I'm going to be putting it out, so I'm very excited. Anyway, let's move on. So Saturn entering into Pisces. So Pisces is also, it's the zodiac sign of dreams, the subconscious mind. It rules, of course, mental institutions and any kind of like hospital, places like that. But it's a very dreamy sign, but it's also the depths of the deepest ocean. So when you hear me speak of going to the oneness in my near-death experience, right, that's a very Piscean thing of nothing is, because it's ruled by Neptune. And Neptune is one of the outermost gaseous giant that we know of in our solar system. And so we astrologers experience, and so do you, even though you're not aware of it, experience that energy as like a healing, a deep connection to God. And that is where spirituality lives, is in the house, or in the zodiac sign rather, of Pisces, right? So it covers things like the arts. And you know me, I'm a performing and healing artist, and a coach, and a public speaker. Well, public speaking and life coaching, no, not so much. Maybe life coaching, only in the ways that I would be able to help you with problems in your subconscious mind that you're not aware of. If you were aware of them, they would be in your conscious awareness. I help you bring those things to conscious awareness, and I use different tools to do that. This is one of them. But I'm teaching you how to use these tools to do it for yourself, so that you don't have to go pay people to do it. You can just kind of learn how to do it yourself. Okay? Now, this energy is really going to give you a lot of energy to work with. Now, Saturn might bring you some disciplinary things, okay? So if in that house you have not done a lot of work, and there are things that you need to accomplish, and the universe has not really, seen your progression in that, then Saturn might bring you a little bit of a paddle spank, through some way, and it just might be just something that's sort of a fated thing. It's just part of something that was meant to happen. And when those things happen, the only thing that we can do is cast out for those higher destiny lines, so that we know that we are following our highest possible destiny line, whatever that might be. So that we're not on a lower destiny line, right? We're not succumbing to fate and like just saying, okay, this is the card I've been dealt, I'll just go to my grave with that and I'll be happy, whatever. I'm not happy though. I'm trying to get you out of that. So Saturn is really there to serve in a way. He will bring up your fears. So if you have fears around any of these things, the unknown, paranormal, subconscious stuff, you know, if you've ever thought, oh my gosh, she does hypnosis, but what is that? That fear would be representative very much of Saturn being in Pisces. Because he's going to bring out your fears because he wants to see your courage, and he cannot leave you, he cannot visit you and see how you're doing and check up. If there's no improvement there, he can't leave you with a bonus, right? One of my teachers loves to compare a Saturn to like a creepy old uncle. That's one of my favorites, who has this really enormous house filled with books, and he makes you do all these really weird things that you don't understand, like go count pennies, or go up to his library and reorganize his entire bookshelf with no explanation. He just wants you to do it, and you have no idea why. Well, if you have a sibling and your parents took you over to creepy uncle's house once in a while, and creepy uncle makes you do these things, and you got a sibling, it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't understand why. He's a creepy old uncle. I'm going to go play out in the garden. But you, for whatever reason, say, I don't really understand why my uncle's having me do all this stuff, but there must be a reason. So you count all the pennies. So you reorganize his whole album collection, or his books, or his clothes, whatever it is, I don't care, right? Weird things. That's when he leaves you the keys to the kingdom. Let's say that uncle passes away, right? He's going to leave you his entire estate because you did the work. But your sibling, who didn't take it seriously and said, and threw it off, and paid no attention to their need to refine whatever area of their life that is, yes, there will be some consequences. Now, I don't mean that, you know, you need to be afraid of this stuff. I just mean it's going to bring things up for you in the way that God or divine providence or oneness, whatever you want to call it, does. It's all things for your higher self. It's brought to light during this full moon. So believe you me, there will be plenty of light being shined down for you on this, if you're willing to look. Now, this is what I mean when I say that you have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. So just be aware. Be aware. And watching this video, you're being aware. Now, later in the day, not too much later, around lunchtime, and in fact around 11:53 a.m., we're going to have the moon in Virgo making kind of an odd inconjunct, or I'm not really sure, it's just a really odd angle there, with Venus and Aries. Now, what that can bring up is just you wanting to really feel good and feel good about yourself, and have good self-esteem, or have really good health, or whatever it is. Aries rules our ego and our identity and our self-empowerment, and my Chiron happens to be there. And that's why I have so much strength there, is because I have worked so hard for it my whole life. And it didn't come to me easy because it's my Chiron. And it's crazy conjunct like my South Node. I mean, not my South Node, but yeah, my South Node and my IC. That's for you deep divers on astrology that know more about it. But the moon in Virgo making an odd angle to this Venus and Aries is really going to maybe make you question the things that you love and that you value about yourself. The things that make you feel good. The things that really, it doesn't matter if it's a delicious plate of food or a type of food that you love. Let's go back to the pizza. Maybe you're deciding, oh my God, pizza's terrible for me. It's wrecking my health. It's destroying my guts. I gotta ferret through this and figure it out. This is perfect supportive energy for you to do that. It's a really good supportive energy for you to find the right practitioner to work with if you're looking for a holistic practitioner, and an integrative medicine doctor. I'm an herbalist. Anybody like me who does any kind of healing service, holistic modalities, it's a really good time for that. Especially because Saturn is entering into Pisces, it's also going to be a really good time to work with that stuff too, especially when it comes to matters of the subconscious mind and also spirituality, because they are two depths that really meet. And you have to really understand the nature of the duality of this universe and how to transcend and rise above out of that duality. And trust me, you can do that. I know, because I've had to do it. It doesn't mean that you get to go live up in La La Land all the time you know, you still want to ground yourself and be grounded, and that's what our earth energies help us do. So wherever you have Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, that's where you really get your grounding from. So look to those personal planets or those houses for your grounding. If in this energy you feel like you're getting lost, that is the one thing that I would say with Saturn and Pisces is don't get lost in the void. Don't get lost in the fear that sucks you in about your beliefs, about the unknown, maybe even about death. You know, Pisces kind of co-rules death with Scorpio. I look at Scorpio more of like a shamanic sign because it's more about transformation than anything, because it's ruled by Pluto, another malefic who's also a good friend of mine, only because, you know, yeah, I've told you guys about that. Last video, if you're curious, this one right here. So anyway, so that it's going to bring that up. And then the moon is going to be making a square to Mars in Gemini around 6 o'clock p.m. Now, this is in Eastern, so convert that to your time. Now, the moon in Virgo making a square over to Mars in Gemini. Okay, so Gemini rules things like your siblings, your neighbors, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your neighbors, short-term transportation, like short-term trips. I feel like mine's already been on fire, right? Like mine's been on fire because I've made so many trips up and back and forth because of my dad, because of his funeral, and because of closing out his estate. And so I really feel like I've just been running everywhere. And I'm just now kind of like where I can slow down and catch my breath a little bit. So this is going to be kind of interesting, is to see how this energy goes for us on Tuesday. For you, I'm not sure where that house falls for you, so you'd have to look into your natal chart to find out. For example, for me, it falls in my 5th house, right? So this is all about, for me, it's the Leo house. The 5th house is the house of Leo. So this is all about my external activities, my going and standing on a stage, public speaking. This video right here would fall under Leo business or whatever activities. So wherever that is for you, that's what's going to be highlighting. So Mars is your vital energy, and Mars is in Gemini. Now, you know this because we've been talking about Mars being retrograde forever back in the fall, and then he finally went forward, and you know, you witnessed that in all its glory in your life, however that manifested. Hopefully it was better than mine. And there are good sides to that, right? Because the truth is that there's a silver lining even in loss. Okay? So I'll be releasing a video on what I learned about my dad's death, or what I learned from it. But I'm still learning so many things. So it's okay. I'll just put out stuff as it comes. But anyway, so this moon in Virgo making a square to the Mars in Gemini. That's going to be about, like, how am I using my energy when it comes to these things? You know, your neighbors, your aunts, uncles, cousins, short distance travel, that kind of thing. Your mobility, communication, you know. Gemini is Mercury ruled. So it's about your energy and your vitality around those things. It could also be a strong feeling that you have about something, right, coming up for you. And it feels, a square is a challenging angle. It's one that's definitely a little harder even than opposition, right, because the planets are in direct square. They don't, not only do they not want to discuss things, they just want to duke it out. So, you know, you're going to have maybe this stuff that's coming up for you around the Virgo issues with the moon about your daily routine and habits. You know, that could be like having a butt up against, you know, what you want to do with your, you know, how you're communicating, and, you know, things might be coming to light for you on that. But what I want you to understand about a square, or yeah, it's a challenge. But what is a challenge but an opportunity? So I want you to understand, if you change your thought process to look at a challenge as an opportunity instead of a challenge, you will recondition your brain to respond to challenges differently, no matter what form they come in, because you will then begin looking at it as an opportunity. That's powerful, okay? Now, later on that evening at 11:39 p.m., so right after you're going to bed and entering into dream time, we have this beautiful Moon in Virgo is also going to make this conjunction with Neptune in Pisces, who's still at home in Pisces. He's entering that last decan, getting ready to here in a little bit. And Pisces has been in, and Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, so he's been in that for quite a while, and he's been dissolving away a lot of things in that house for you, wherever that's at. So take a look at it, because that helps you understand what your specific energy is better that you're dealing with. But that conjunction is really going to be helpful for you if you use the energy properly on Tuesday to really help you to discover what things about your spiritual nature, your subconscious mind, the hidden things, the unknown things, or your dreams, your poetry, your visions, your creation, to some extent, you know, your art. If you're an artist of any kind, this is going to impact you, because you're going to be looking at your daily routines and habits and what you need to do. And I really feel like if you use the energy properly and let that Saturn help you, let him help you. He wants to structure this house. He wants to structure this. He wants to come in and help structure and create some sort of a schedule, maybe if you've been lacking, or some sort of a routine if you've been lacking, or some sort of new regimen that you need if you've been lacking, to bring some sort of balance that's more sustainable, things that you can that are a way of your life, a way that you live your life and you do your business. Maybe you're doing like me and you're trying to build your business around your lifestyle, so that you're not building a business that you can't even have the lifestyle you want after you build it. You know, so all of these things are things to kind of take a look at, because even though Virgo does not rule the 10th house like Capricorn, it rules your daily work and habits. It's not what you're known for out in the world necessarily. So it can definitely represent a job, you know, your daily 9 to 5, that kind of thing. So this could be happening at home, or it could be happening at work, or just internally, or maybe all of the above, right, for you. Just kind of depends what kind of mixture of energies that you have. And if you'd like to know more about this and are kind of curious, you can go to my website, bestsoulfire.com, and I do natal chart readings, and we can also take a look at your transit and see what's coming up for you. I haven't put that one up yet, but I'm getting ready to reformulate my entire website, but you can go ahead and book the session anyway.